What is up, everybody, and welcome back to King Game Reviews. We're doing it again. This time, guys, we are going to be taking a look at an awesome indie game, something that I was obsessed with ever since it came out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Ape Out. When I saw the trailers for Ape Out, seeing this gorilla and this stylized graphics just running through this building, just splattering people, turning them into chunky salsa all over the buildings and trying to run away, I was like, oh my god, this looks awesome. This is like Hotline Miami with the camera closed in and you're in tight, semi-procedurally generated corridors. I'm like, this is something I need. And so I jumped right into it. I was excited to get this game and I'm so glad I got it day one. So let's start talking about it. The story of Ape Out is practically non-existent. There is some subtext here and there you can look at from the visuals to get your idea of the story, but basically you're just an ape in a certain location. Each area has a new ape trying to escape from different things, like you're trying to escape from a hospital or an office or some military in the jungle. The point is, you're a gorilla and you're trying to get the hell out, and that's basically the entire story. It's the gameplay for Ape Out that really matters, so we're going to talk about that right now. The whole idea is get out. Like I said, it does resemble a lot of ideas like Hotline Miami, but they just close the camera way down there on you, making it feel very tight. Each corridor, you're turning around the corner, you don't know exactly where people are going to come out with guns unless it's dark and then there's lights around here. You have to use the light sources to find your way out, but also look out for enemies. Now, the cool thing about this game is it has some very tense stealth elements because 3 shots can kill you. One shot, you get a little bit of blood. The second shot, you get a lot of blood, and then the third shot, you're dead. Now, there are certain weapons in the game that can instantly kill you, like grenades. You can get set on fire. They can do continuous damage to your character, and I think that can count for 2 hits. Shotguns are a bad deal, especially up close. I think you can not get killed from 1 shotgun blast at a distance, but I think up close, it can kill you instantly. But the best part and the most fun aspect of this game is that you're not just crawling around as an ape trying to get away, you're also using the enemies to your advantage. You're using the human beings that are trying to kill you to kill them, and each human has a different weapon. There's dudes with pistols that'll just fire off their shots randomly when you grab them, and they'll fire off a couple shots, and then you just throw them at dudes. You can actually just push enemies away and splatter them into walls or doors. You can splatter 2 dudes into each other if you get the aim right. There are moments in this game where you can get dudes with machine guns, because there are dudes here that have like little submachine guns, and they fire their guns continuously. So you grab them, and there's like a whole row of dudes, and you just go pop, 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 and just wipe the room clean. The shotgun dudes, of course, will take out a bunch of dudes quick. The flamethrowers, you can just burn away bushes and people, and just it's fantastic. Dudes with explosives, you can push them away, and the explosions will kill everybody around them. So it's really about timing and looking around your where you are and trying to sneak up on enemies and get them, or you can just be crazy and rush into a horde of people and try to get somebody with a gun before they shoot you, because they don't shoot you instantly. The game gives you enough leeway to run up and grab people. You can actually run up and it'll take them about a second to get their shot off. Anybody in the game, honestly, with the exception of the flamethrower guy, I think they shoot a little bit faster. The gameplay is so freaking addictive, and I just love it. Every second I was running through these hallways, I felt empowered. And one thing that absolutely helps is the beautiful, fantastic music, because it's just a drum loop that adapts and gets louder and crazier the more you kill. The more combo you rank up, the crazier the soundtrack, because it just starts off a little boom, 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 but then you get better kills and you start cranking it up, and the more kills you do, it like hits a symbol like tss, 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 for every single kill, and the more you rank it up, you'll start hearing boom, 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 like bigger, louder drum loops, and it just makes you want to keep going and beat them down. But if you're too cocky, you're done and you have to start all the way over again. Now, the game uses this jazz infused drum loop and this game's art style to resemble that of album covers, and I gotta say, it nails it to a T, and it just helps the game be all the more fun, if I'm being honest. Now, the controls in Ape Out are absolutely perfect. I never really found any real trouble playing on my Nintendo Switch. I played with the Joy-Cons and with a regular semi-pro controller, and definitely the Switch's Joy-Cons were the worst of the bunch, but it never really hindered my experience. I was still able to get through the game just fine. It's those tiny little sticks on the Joy-Con that made the game feel a little less fun. So enemies and gameplay, fantastic. The music, amazing. The level design, this is where it gets interesting. It is semi-procedurally generated. You are going from point A to B to escape, but the rooms you go into, they've all been pre-built, but you'll be going into, like, I think 4 or 5 rooms per arena, and each room is a procedural generated run, so they'll mix and match the rooms around. They look similar enough that you might not notice it at first, but when the camera pulls out, and pans away, because when you die it actually says dead and it shows you the 4 or 5 areas that you're in panned out in the word dead, and you'll be like, wait a minute, that hallway wasn't like that before, that's weird. And so then you realize the game is procedurally generating these rooms, or it has a bunch of pre-built rooms and they're just mixing them around, and this helps replay value to an insane degree, because I really love playing through this game, and when you die it's kind of an interesting little oh, okay, so that's there now, and it helps keep the tension up, because you think that you know where you're going, but then the game says nope, you have no freaking clue. The game is still tense, and that's brilliant. All these rooms are perfectly designed. There's not really a problem I had with the game. It mixes things up fantastic. The game gets more and more open, which means it's harder to stay in cover the more the game goes on, because at first you're in offices, but by the end you're in the freaking jungle, and when you're in the jungle there's very few buildings that you can go into. There's rocks and trees and stuff, and there's more people to grab and throw, but really if you're not careful, you're done. So I would say the difficulty does progress at a steady pace and definitely does get harder. Problems, I'd say the game is a little short, but for a $15 game, I mean, you really can't complain about that. It is a problem I have, because I want more of it, you know, and maybe there could have been more variety in the enemies and more gimmicks, because there's some fun gimmicks in here, like the lights go out in the buildings and you have to use the enemy's flashlights to see where they are, but also find your way out so you're not running into walls. So it's a little bit of a, okay, do I risk grabbing an enemy and maybe getting shot from behind, or do I just go for it? There's some fun moments where you're grabbing a door, you rip the door off, and you run down this linear hallway and you're trying not to get shot, and then you splatter them with a door. That's awesome. More moments like that, maybe mixing up, put more variety in it would have helped. But there's already enough variety with the mixed levels and the soundtrack being timed to your kills. My complaints, very minor. I just wanted more of this game. So in the end, guys, I think Ape Out is fantastic. I really love this game. I played it through it twice for this review, and I just cannot recommend it enough. I know I sound like I'm just loving this game so much. That's because I did. I love these Hotline Miami style games, and this took it in a completely different direction. I never thought they would do something like this with this type of game. So thumbs up to you guys, Devolver Digital. You guys seem to just find talent like there's no tomorrow. Like, you guys really know what you're doing when it comes to picking cool IPs. So in the end, guys, for my King Games review return, I'm going to give Ape Out an 8 out of 10, or an ape out of 10. It's fantastic, only a few things hold it back, and it's $15 on the eShop or on Steam or whatever, so please pick this game up, play it if you already haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time on King Game Reviews. Catch you later.